this is where it's at.
Hallo.
Hi, Trey.
What's up, my man?
Let me tell you, before this song even ends or gets close to ending, I'm just going to go ahead and get this out of the way, and I probably am just going to start doing this every show.
Oh no! What is it?
It's the weekly or it's each episode's apology segment.
The Ryan apology segment. Got it.
The last couple of apologies have been kind of. Okay, I can deal with it. But these, the ones tonight are kind of like, man, I feel like a dumbass. And it's because multiple people have brought them to my attention, and they're not making it any nicer. They're kind of like, you're a dumbass. The first one...
Sounds like people I would like.
It was all you.
Oh.
The first one is, apparently I did not know what blog meant.
You did not. Yeah, I was surprised about that.
And I did. I'm going to go ahead and say that I did, but for some reason I was so just into our conversation that it just slipped my mind. But blog is web log, right?
Web log.
Web log.
So why is it not log?
That's what I'm saying. What? Whatever. So look. This is very fast. I'm sorry. It's web log.
Weblog.
Okay. Now I know, and I'll never mess it up again. The second one is a little more embarrassing. When Trey and I talk about serious things, we try and act like we know what we're talking about. So the other night, when Trey and I were discussing marijuana, or Mary Jane, or
weed.
There was 1,000 English words for it.
Yeah. Slang words.
We were talking about marijuana, and what came up was how it helps with epilepsy. Correct?
Yep.
You had brought that to my attention with your fantastic research. And I went on to talk about how does that help people that fall asleep randomly? And it was brought to my attention, and I hope all of you are laughing. And if that gets us more listeners, great. Laugh for a second. Okay. I'll move on now. Narcolepsy is what I was thinking of, Trey.
And I'll be honest with you.
You thought
I was confused at the time, so I was like, man, I really thought epilepsy was something else, but maybe I'm an idiot. So I just let it go.
Never doubt yourself, because 20% of the time you'll be right.
Well, that's hard to do.
Yeah.
I know I've told you about my two successful divorces, so it's hard not to doubt myself anymore.
They drug it out of you.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, those are my two. Those are my two kind of mess ups, and I don't. Again, they're not. It's not like there's some huge deal, but I felt like I needed to get out of the way, and it's probably just going to happen each show. So there you go.
Gotcha.
So I heard from Okoro.
Oh, my man! Has he set up our trip yet?
He's working on it. He said.
Okay.
He wouldn't give me any details. He
still
just
waiting
said,
on the money, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, all he said was that there was a meetup point, whatever that meant.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
And that come alone, come with just us.
Yeah.
But he took that back. He listened to our show the other day.
Okay.
The last episode. And he really likes Jess.
Uh-oh.
And I don't know what way he likes Jess.
Is that a good thing or
but
bad
Jess
thing?
is married, so I told Okoro. He seemed disappointed.
Okay.
But he said that he'd like to invite her as well because he felt she was a nice part of the show.
Good energy.
Good energy. Let's go. He said as long as she brings her $5,000 in cash.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Oh, wait a minute. We had 10,000. She has
He
5,000.
said 5 for her. Maybe it's because she's a female.
Is that a double standard?
It's a double. Well, it might be their culture, Trey. We need to be more sensitive.
Gotcha.
Right?
Yes.
We are, Americans.
It's a stereotype of us.
We need to be more. So he just said she needed $5,000 and that she needed to be at the meetup point as well. Just the three of us.
So what if I identify as a female for the Africa trip?
You're
I'll have
thinking
to
you
bring
can get yours
5,000?
down to $5,000?
Yeah.
I'm not sure Okoro is with the whole identifying as whatever.
No?
I think Okoro is pretty straight-laced. I can ask. Do you want me to ask him?
Yeah, it wouldn't hurt.
Or
to
you
ask
can
him.
ask him. I mean, he started out emailing you. I think you need to get back with him.
Okay, I can do that.
We'll get. You know what we'll do? We'll get a group email.
A group email.
We'll include Jess and we'll
Get all these
get the
details
trips
ironed
planned.
out.
Yeah, and it made me think. I started thinking about all these listeners we've got all over the place. I mean, we've talked about it over and over and over. I mean, we got Iceland, we got all of all these places in Europe, and we had Ecuador. We have all these wonderful places, and obviously Okoro's our priority right now,
Right.
Nigeria. And it got me thinking, well, why do after our African journey, if we survive,
You mean when we survive?
when we survive, we can go. Why don't we go to do like a little world tour and go to some of these other places where we're starting to spike?
I would love that.
And I was looking at some of them, and I was thinking, all right, great. We could obviously go to Iceland, which we talked about.
Absolutely.
We can swing. I mean, Kenya's right down the road from Nigeria, right? Africa's not very big.
We just jump on a little bus or something, or
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
We
mean,
can do that.
again, the weather's nice and mild in July and
July,
August.
ready to roll.
Yeah, I think, and even if we have to camp out,
Just
it's
like a
pretty-
light
pretty
sweater?
safe. I think in the evening time you might want a light
a little
sweater.
chilly?
Yeah, make it down there a little bit breeze. But we'll shoot over there, and then I thought, the big news I wanted to tell you was we had a listener in the Philippines, and I thought, all right, this is he just accidentally hit on us. But now there's a little bit of an uptick in the Philippines,
Uh-oh.
and I'm excited about that. So I thought, why don't we shoot over there? What do you think?
I'm not a fan of cold weather, Ryan. I really don't like to bundle up.
So you.
Let's skip that one.
You're telling me you want to go. You
want
wanna
warm
move
weather
on? You want to go to Iceland
countries.
instead? Go back to Iceland.
Wait a minute.
Your winter coat's not available, is what you're telling me.
Well, I just don't. I'd rather go somewhere warm. I don't want
rather
to
go
have to
somewhere
bring
warm. Okay.
layers and layers of clothes.
Well, we can
to
visit
a country.
Sweden. Go to Sweden.
Sweden, we could do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because there's a huge uptick in Sweden this week.
Isn't that beautiful and sunny all the time?
Yeah. I mean, it's the summertime. You're probably looking at like 80 degrees.
Perfect.
I would think.
Perfect.
If we go in the winter, I mean, it gets down to like 50 or something.
That's not bad.
Right.
That's doable.
Well, yeah. So I mean, we did get a listener in Sri Lanka.
Sri what?
I can't even say it. Sri Lanka.
Is that a real country?
It's a real country.
Where's that at?
I don't know,
Oh,
but I hear that.
I thought you have a map.
I heard
in
it's.
front of
I
you.
do. I'm just kidding. It's right by India. So what about? There's another country I really want to go to, but we don't have any listeners there yet. So if anybody can spread the word, I mean, obviously Antarctica is where I want the word spread most.
Top priority, yeah.
Second priority would be the country of Norway.
Norway, okay.
And the reason I think I can get Norway is because right next door is Sweden, and we're having a nice little uptick in Sweden. We like those guys in Sweden.
Yeah,
We appreciate their socialism, right?
absolutely.
And so, Norway, the reason I want to go to Norway is because I just saw an article about a young lady who goes and howls with the wolves of Norway.
Wow.
And she's like the wolf whisperer. Basically, they all love her. She just is in a pack of wolves sitting there chilling with them.
No shit.
And you want to know the kicker? She is super hot.
Way.
Like really. Like, Trey, you've got to go look it up. Even in all her snow gear. Because apparently it gets cold there. I know next door it's a little warm in Sweden. It's nice and whatever, but Norway is a little cold.
A little bit chillier.
But she is really, really, really pretty girl, and she's sitting there with all these wolves, and that's all she does in her life. And so there's these videos of her and the wolves like licking all over her face. And
Wow.
she's just like loving it. But I want to go howl with the wolves. Wouldn't that be cool?
You want to howl with the wolves or howl with her?
Well, I mean, I can't howl with her. I'm
Oh.
a happily married man.
Gotcha. That's true.
But we can. I mean, I guess I can howl with her. There's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
Her name is Annika Svenska, and
That with 3 O's or 2
right. There's a couple of vowels in there.
V's.
And she, yeah. So I mean, this is all she does, and so I figured that if I could get a hold of her, she may take us and guide us through the snowy mountains of Norway with the wolves.
Well, how cool would it be to get her on the show?
Well, I mean, she just has to come over to Dallas, Texas from Norway, but
That's a difficult.
or we could just do a show over there.
Yeah, one or the other.
I mean, we have the technology. But
Sounds
anyway,
like fun.
I thought that would be a cool trip to take. So we need to get some listeners because I'm not going anywhere where we don't have listeners.
And I'd be curious to know what made her decide this is the career path I want to take.
You're right. I mean,
Is there not that
if
many
you do
options
it,
in Norway?
like I would like to do it once.
It's like
But after
computer
that-
programmer or
Right.
wolf howler.
Well, I think she might be like the only wolf howler.
Oh, so she's got the market cornered.
She's right. She has a monopoly on the market.
Gotcha.
So we're not. If you're looking to go over there, Trey, and be a wolf howler for good, it's not going to happen.
gonna happen.
She has this. Annika has this.
She's a lot cuter than I am.
She's. No offense, my man, but she is. You just come over and look at her when we get a break here.
Well, in all fairness, Ryan, you have not seen me in my snow gear yet. So
That is true. Fair enough.
yeah.
I will wait. I'll reserve judgment.
Perfect.
So hopefully Norway is on the list. But anyway, that's my update on our listeners and our trips and what we want to do. So
Very cool.
do we have anything to talk about tonight other than that? Or should we just
I ran across
should
the
we
story.
just end it?
Yeah, I ran across the story.
Oh, let's go.
I won't tell you how I ran across it, but
Here we go.
ran across a story about a young lady by the name of Kayla Jade,
Kayla Jade.
one of the most popular content creators on OnlyFans. Are you familiar with OnlyFans?
I've heard of OnlyFans, but I'm going to tell you that everything I know of OnlyFans is just like it's private, sexy stuff.
Private sexy stuff. That's good.
Is that true, or is that
it's private sexy stuff?
Is
It
there
can
more
be
to it?
private or it can be more. So as I was setting my account up, there's basically tiered
Oh, dear Lord.
levels that you can do. So obviously, most of my content is free. But yeah,
most of it?
there's anything from videos, pictures, all kinds of good stuff like that. So, you have stuff for free.
In your snow gear?
Reel them in my snow gear. And then obviously the more you charge, the more.
So you're trying to reel them in. What do you do to reel them in?
Like I do have
Just one example.
one example. Okay, one example. I have some American flag Speedos and some cowboy boots. And so I will mow in just my American flag Speedo and my cowboy boots. So that was one of my videos.
How many do you have? Do you call them followers or do you call them subscribers?
Well, so far just my mother. But I'm hoping that'll spread.
That's so wrong.
So yeah.
In so many, from what I understand, that's so wrong.
Yeah, she's very supportive.
She's just supportive in
She's
anything
very
that
supportive.
you do, right?
Yeah. So obviously that's part of my
Good
free
for
content.
her. So your free content. What other content do you have?
Well, I'm not going to share it. You have to come.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I see. So that's the deal. You
That's
pay.
the deal.
So it's like you said, it's tiers,
Right.
And you can have free content, which is anybody that's not you.
Teaser.
You can have teaser photos. I
So-
imagine. Okay, so let's.
A teaser video is me with the Speedo on. If you decide to pay that $1 a month, it might be without the Speedo on.
$1 a month.
So
So let's talk about anybody not you
okay. So this young lady.
for OnlyFans. No, so I just want to get this right because I don't know OnlyFans, and it sounds like you do. So people that have an OnlyFans account can do free content, and then there's a bunch of tiers. Do they choose how much they want for their tiers?
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, they
So it's all
decide
up
the
to them.
pricing. They decide all
Wow.
that kind of good stuff. Yeah. So
Getting some ideas.
yeah. So they want to show off whatever they want to show off at whatever price they want to charge, and it's.
Could
fair
you
game.
feasibly do free content all the way up to like $100 a month? Or is it just like you need to go in tiers? Do you have to go
I'm sure you can do
Just
paid
boom.
content without any free stuff too.
Like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
wow, okay. So if you are like a known person and you're like, I'm going to do an OnlyFans. I'm not going to mess with all the free stuff or $1 a month.
So yeah, if you're hot and you don't have to worry about the free stuff, you can automatically go to the content where you pay monthly subscriptions and stuff like that.
Interesting. I'm intrigued. I'd go try and look at this, but I feel like I'd get flagged for doing it or So I'm gonna go through you vicariously
through me,
which I seem to do a lot. But anyway, which I don't know if that's healthy, by the way. But I'm going to continue to do it anyway. Okay, so you heard a story. Let's go.
This young lady it's a pretty interesting story. So she revealed that she was disowned by her family after they discovered that she had created content for OnlyFans. Mm-hmm. So she's...
Do you know the type of content? Was it like the bad content?
It doesn't say. It does. She does state in here. She pointed out that what her relative did was actually illegal and explained how she felt after her family found out. Said that one of her family members actually took the pictures off the OnlyFans and actually shared it.
What?
Yeah. So, and she actually stated, so it's bad for her to have an OnlyFans account, but it's okay for a family member to pay for OnlyFans content.
But you can like download the pictures.
I guess you can. Maybe they.
I thought that would be no.
He took a screenshot or he took a picture with his phone or something to that effect.
Yeah. What an asshole.
So she said the only person that reached out was her dad, and said he was super grounded, supportive.
So she was disowned, but the dad said, I want to support you, but.
So she said among the rest of her family, she found out that no one could really look her in the eyes and talk to her about it. And then one day she got a message from a member of the family completely disowning her.
Wow. It doesn't obviously say who that member was.
No. So, and it says in here, she wasn't trying to hide it or anything like that.
I bet it was her mom. Sounds like a mom deal.
Or maybe some aunts.
Yeah, but why would they... I mean, I wouldn't care if I was... I mean, look, I'd care, but I wouldn't care overall if I was disowned by an aunt or uncle. If my dad, like you had just said, had come back and said, I support you.
Right. Because I think the dad would be it would be the toughest blow to the dad, I would think.
But dad and mom, immediate family, at home, siblings, things like that. But if it's aunts and uncles and cousins, who cares?
And obviously you have two boys, but it makes you wonder if you had a daughter. Is that something? It's like, how do you get past that as you learn about something like that?
I always thought I wanted a boy and a girl, and I had two boys, and my beautiful youngest boy, don't ever tell him that I wanted him to be a girl. But now that we talk about this kind of stuff, I'm kind of happy. I'm like, okay, my boys, like, I don't have to worry about that, and I can't imagine honestly dealing with that, but.
It's just you want her to be smart about it, obviously.
Well, sure.
So, but yeah, something. Like
I mean,
that would be difficult.
could you make? What do you think? Can you make money as an attractive girl / woman, I should say? That because I'm assuming you have to be obviously 18 years old to do this.
Right.
Okay. I'm assuming.
Or I would assume it would be at least 18. Yes. So I mean, that's the age I said I was when I put mine on there. So.
You look 18. You're close enough.
With the right lighting.
And
if you squint.
Yeah, that makes it better.
Yeah.
Interesting. I'll have to try that. But anyway, so continue. Did I interrupt you? Okay.
No, I mean.
So they disowned them. They disowned the young lady.
Her, and that was kind of, she was a little surprised also, like I said, that the family member that found her out was okay, that they're paying for pictures. Right. That's okay.
Yeah.
But it's not okay for her to try to make a career, albeit an OnlyFans model.
I think that was my question that I got off on was, do you think you can make, in your experience with this company, can you make good money without doing anything like super risque?
Oh, I'm sure you could.
Could you just wear like bikinis and charge $5 a month?
Oh, absolutely.
If you're attractive enough.
I'm sure you can do that. Bikinis, lingerie,
Do you think big girls do this?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I can
because there are people
imagine.
that enjoy it.
I'm sure there's guys that do it, larger women that do it, skinny, so
just a little of everything.
Every demographic, there's somebody that's going to be into it. So, I wouldn't be surprised at the whole feet thing.
Yeah,
showing pictures of feet.
I see. I don't know if I wish I could go look at this or if I'm really happy that I can't.
Yeah.
I can't decide which one it is. But this is very intriguing to me. All right, so girl got disowned. As we're talking, I started thinking about the fact that I heard about who was it? I think it was Charlie Sheen and Denise Richards.
Yes.
Had a daughter. I think they have two, but this is the oldest one, and I think now she's probably 20 or 21. But at the time, she was just turned 18, and the whole thing was that she had an account, like I guess kind of a risque account with OnlyFans. And Charlie Sheen came out, and what I thought was, look, I love Charlie. I really do. I think he's great. I think obviously he had his problems, like a lot
Like
of
anybody, yeah.
But I think he was fantastic at what he did. I enjoyed any project he was on, honestly. And he came out and he goes, she did not learn these values from me.
Really?
And you kind of go, all right, Charlie, all right, buddy. But Denise was saying that the daughter was living with her.
And did she know about it?
And she knew I think she knew before Charlie did. But once it kind of came out, Denise Richards kind of made this huge social media thing where she supported her, and then Denise Richards, I believe, made her own kind of OnlyFans. She's probably not like too
right.
nudie or anything like that. But I mean, Denise Richards has been, topless in movies and stuff. She's
right.
not that shy of it.
Which one?
Denise. I think she was in.
Hold on, let me write this down.
Wild Things.
Wild Things. Okay, I do remember that.
Matt Dillon.
Okay,
right. Matt Dillon and
so.
Neve Campbell.
Neve Campbell. Yeah.
I only remember that because it was a good movie.
Yeah. Was it?
But yeah, it was.
Okay.
I promise. And she jumped out of the swimming pool, and I think she was topless. But this was when she was like 25. So, but that's the point, is that she was comfortable, and she's gorgeous. Denise Richards,
right?
Smoke show,
right?
And her daughter and Charlie Sheen's daughter together. That's how that works. Is doing OnlyFans, and they're trying to come out in support of her. Charlie Sheen said, I support her. If she's going to do it, I support her. I just want to make sure she does it with good standards and good values and things like
tastefully.
That. Basically, tastefully. That's
yeah.
the word. And I think he used. And so that was just interesting that people are being disowned. It's become celebrity. Kids are doing it. And it's just interesting how neither of us came up with this idea for OnlyFans before.
Right.
It seemed like a brilliant idea in this sick world we live in, right?
Yeah.
I still am intrigued by it. I feel like I need to go look at it, but I won't.
For research purposes, right?
Well, that honestly, I swear to you, when you said that you had something you wanted to talk about that had to do with OnlyFans, I went on there because I like to be prepared for the show.
Absolutely.
And I went on there, and immediately it's like, sign in for a free account. And I was like,
you have to click that 18.
Yeah,
Are you 18?
like, okay, if you can't give me some sort of like a preview or something, then I'm out for now. As a married man and a father of two, I'm gonna live through Trey, right, buddy?
At least for the next couple of years, then. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see when the kids get older and the wife gets stingy. Did I say that? I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh, I love it.
So let's move on to the Allen Mall shooting.
Oh shit! Okay.
I'm sorry.
We're getting serious.
I had to run away from that last comment very fast. I didn't realize how serious.
You definitely did.
Serious of a topic we're gonna move into. So I'm sure most people that are listening, especially because most of you are here in Texas with us, as of now, since like I said, Philippines are booming, and Sweden and all these countries. But as of now, Texas is kind of our stronghold. And so we had the incident in Allen, Texas, where a shooter came in with assault rifle.
Actually, I want to say I heard he had 8 or 9 weapons on him.
He did. That's right. That came out today, didn't it?
Yeah.
And I missed that. So what they say, he had
something like 8 or 9 weapons on him.
Yeah,
yes.
I don't know why he thought he was going to get that far, especially in this state. If it wasn't a law enforcement that got him, it was going to be somebody else that was carrying. I guarantee it. But so this guy walks in there, gets out of his car. I think there were people that had footage of this, And they got out of the car, or he got out of the car, and walked towards the mall and just, there wasn't really any, like, he just opened fire. Whoever was there. It wasn't like he was going at somebody or at a group of people. He just was like, all right, here I am. I'm ready to go.
Right.
And so what's disgusting about it, I mean, any age person that dies is disgusting. But, here's another 5-year-old that died. A family, I think, completely died. A mom trying to protect the 5-year-old, I think, died. And I, obviously, Trey and I have been talking about this quite a bit off and on throughout the shows, and we will obviously continue to talk about it because the gun talk comes up again. Every shooting, it becomes a political issue. Every shooting becomes, get rid of the guns. You don't care about our children, our lives. The other side is, it's not the guns, it's the shooter. Quit blaming the guns. You're never going to get them.
Right.
And we've talked about this, so we don't need to go into detail about how each side is so extreme and they refuse to listen.
Well, and I heard on 105.3 The Fan, this morning actually, how they're talking about
105.3 The Fan in Dallas, local Dallas station.
Yeah, how it seems like it's anytime this pops up, something like this happens, they're automatically looking, well, who is he affiliated with? Who is he associated with? What's his political ties?
Yeah.
Who do we blame? That's what they're looking at.
Right.
Who do we blame for this idiot opening fire on innocent people at a mall?
Yeah. You don't blame the guy. You're looking to see who he's affiliated with.
Right.
Like
So-
we blame this political party or we blame this ideal. Or
What
this.
music he was listening to.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, who do we blame?
That happened way back in the day. If you remember the Lincoln Park incident, you remember Lincoln Park.
Right.
I hope. And, right when they came out, there was an incident, I think, where there was a gunman that said Lincoln Park is who inspired him. And I forget, honestly, I probably shouldn't have brought that up until I knew, I read what Lincoln Park said in response to that, because I forget. But can you imagine? I mean, you put out music and, angst and, it's got a message and then somebody uses that to go kill a bunch of people.
Right.
And so, but that's the point, is that you never know what the motive is. So,
And what's frustrating is it says on here that this 33-year-old gunman from Dallas did not have a criminal record and acquired all of his guns legally. So, as a gun owner, I'm not a gun owner, but as a gun owner, when do we start getting upset? It's like
Right.
he did it legally. He didn't have a criminal record. So how far do we need to dive into their history or their behavior before we decide who is allowed to get a gun? Do we do a check every year? They have to go through some type of certification, mental, whatever, to make sure they can still have a gun. I don't know how we're going to take it away if we decide,
Right.
oh, he can't have a gun now. Like he's going to, you know what? I'm sorry. Let me bring my guns to you. So
right. Well, I mean, you basically say we're going to come confiscate them from you because of this. And I think that if
should be fun.
Well, but if you don't comply, then you're arrested. I mean, that I think on a case by case you can do that.
Yeah.
But voluntarily turning them in is not going to work.
No.
And so if you're going to tell me that there are almost 400 million guns in this country and each gun you're going to go through this process you just talked about, good luck. I mean, it's just not going to happen.
Right.
And so, and I said that before, and I'll say that again. And so the issue is, my problem with it now that I'm kind of thinking about this, like what you just said, is that he did it all legally. He went through the process. He had all these guns, and he did it the right way, correct?
He did it the legal way, yeah.
Legal way.
Yeah.
So let's just say that he goes, and my suggestion in the show, and I think it was way back so many episodes ago, where we were talking about the gun issue, right? I think I suggested that there be a 6-month or a year or whatever renewal process where you had to go and get psych evaluations. You know, just because you got it, once doesn't mean it's not forever. And so you need to go back and you need to take tests again. You need to do another class again. You need to do all these things.
Right.
And yes, it's a pain in the ass for the legal gun owners and the ones that are responsible. But I think it's a small price to pay for everyone to get off your back.
Right.
But at the same time, if this guy does this, I mean, what do you think? could you feasibly pass a psych test and still go and do what you just did, to what this guy just did? I mean, what if he's just a piece of shit?
I think certain people can that have
That's what
no
I mean.
feelings.
That's
Yeah,
what
I guess
mean.
that is very possible.
He's fine. He can
Yeah.
pass a psych test. He just literally wanted to kill people.
Right. That's what's sad. That's what's very scary and sad.
That's the point.
Yeah.
So that's what the people on the other side, or well, one side, I should say, of the gun argument with the anti-gun are saying, look, it's not just, the crazy, obvious psychopaths. There are normal people that just,
Snap.
wake up one day and say, I'm fed up. I want to die instead of committing suicide they want to take people with them.
Yeah.
And get some notoriety.
Yeah.
And that's what's scary to me as somebody who honestly feels like, all right, people should be able to defend themselves.
Right.
People should be able to own their guns in their home. Okay, so here's the question. I have a question. I have a good question for you, Trey. And this will get people talking. Because the big issue right now that the anti-gun people are pushing is the assault rifle thing.
Right.
So if this guy doesn't have an assault rifle, you think he doesn't do this? I mean, he could easily take 2 pistols in each hand and just start firing, and
Right.
he could probably get. I'm sorry. So if he doesn't kill 9, he kills 6. Like, it just seems to me like this is, it doesn't seem like something where it's like, assault rifle, I feel like that's not the right thing to talk about. Like, okay, who cares?
Right.
I'll put it this way. Would the anti-gun movement be happy if we banned assault rifles and collected them and somehow got them all? But as long as they could keep their handguns,
Right.
it's still, they're still guns. In fact, the majority of the guns that are used daily and nightly in this country, where people are being murdered every day, not just these incidents, in the urban areas of the big cities, Chicago. I've been through them before. Detroit, Baltimore. Those aren't usually
Right.
assault rifles. These are handguns.
Right.
I don't know the terminology if you want to talk about 45s or I don't know all that, but I know they're handguns. And people that are robbed in stores. Those aren't. No one's hiding an assault rifle as they come into a convenience store to rob them for
Right.
$100. So that's the issue. Can you take? Anyway, I'm babbling.
And I think what's scary is that in most areas there's bad areas. That's kind of what you assume. There's bad areas everywhere.
Right.
Don't go to these areas if you go to this city or this state or whatever the case may be. But it's
Except in Nigeria with the Koro. Everything's
everywhere's safe with him.
Smooth there, right? Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
But now Allen, Texas is up and coming, I would say. But I would say very. Would you say a rich area?
I would say rich. I would say it's above middle class.
Okay. But
I'm like, what's the middle class? Oh, it's the middle class.
I guess it's scary that
It's just above the middle class.
There, okay.
I would say it's not rich, but it's well off.
but it's scary that now you don't know where to go to be safe.
Sure.
We stay out of the bad areas. Well, Allen's not a bad area, but you have
But that's the point.
idiots like this.
Let me tell you, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
But then, did you hear it also at Stonebriar? There was something that happened in Stonebriar, which is what, Frisco?
Is it Plano, Frisco?
Is it Plano,
It's kind
Frisco?
of like, I think right at the border.
So same thing. I guess there was
It's a mall?
The same day, there was reports that there was a gun.
Wow.
I don't know if they ever
didn't hear about
reported
that.
it. Yeah. So they evacuated that mall, and it was the same day. So it's like you have to worry about where you are everywhere now, and it's do we everybody need to carry a gun just so we can feel safe?
Right.
So
It's to the point where everywhere you go, you almost stop to, your head's on a swivel. You're turning and looking and scoping everything out. I'll tell you a quick story, and I won't give a lot of details, but I took my boys, my wife and I took our boys to the zoo last weekend. And when we were there, the entire time I was just looking around. I mean, it's sad. I was looking around like, that guy looks fucking suspicious
Right.
here. What's he doing over there?
You can't relax.
He's probably just looking at the animals.
yeah,
Obviously, he's at the zoo.
yeah,
But you can't relax. I'm like, what would I do if this guy all of a sudden, like, how would what's our escape route? I mean, it's really sad.
Yeah.
And we did that maybe a year ago. We went to a museum. It was the same thing. It was very crowded. It was hot out. It was summertime. And we went to a museum, and I'm looking at this guy, and he's just kind of like, I'm like, is that a bulge over there on his side? Like, you start looking at and seeing if, what's around.
Makes you uncomfortable. Yeah.
It makes you uncomfortable. And kids, I'd be the same way if it was just myself or my wife and myself, but definitely when you have the little ones. That being said, I still don't believe that you can just say, like, take all the guns. It's just impossible.
I mean, we got to figure out a way, and I know this is never going to happen, but you got to figure out a way for the people that want to take all the guns away and the gun rights people to sit in a room.
You mean come to the gray area.
And talk.
You mean stay in the gray.
Come up with an idea together, because
Right.
I'm sure there are intelligent people on both sides.
You mean like we're sitting here and we're saying, all right, well, this, right?
Yeah, except they're intelligent, so hopefully they can figure something out.
Right.
Because at this point, it's getting crazy.
We just spark it.
Right.
We spark it, and then they finish it off.
So where do you go? Where do you go to be safe? Besides staying in your home.
Yeah.
And that's
what it feels
that's
like.
horrible. So
It was really sad that I told my wife, I said, when we got back in the car and we finally exited and went and got on the highway, there was like this like sigh of relief.
Yeah.
Like, whew, we made it through.
Yeah.
And that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's sad.
You made it out safe.
We made it out safely. And like I told you, my 3-year-old went through drills at school for active
Already?
shooters. Yeah, I
Wow.
told you that. I told you. And thanks for your listening.
Sorry.
But I mean, that's come on. He's 3, and they go through this whole thing. Like, if this happens, this is what we have to do. And I don't know how, because he doesn't
Comprehend
half
what's
the shit
going on.
that I say to him now.
Yeah.
But they're working, and to credit to the school for keeping it. We're fortunate enough to have 2 security guards that roam around. Great guys.
Yeah.
I don't know them personally, but I wave, and they're really nice. And me.
With their assault rifles wrapped around their arm.
Yeah, a wave and a smile, and these guys are all. But it makes us feel a little bit better, and that's what I think should be the case with all the schools. And again, I went there before, and we won't go there again. I know I can't wait to readdress this. Do you want to readdress this on a later show?
Yeah, we need to.
Let's do that, and I think we have an acquaintance of ours. Hey, cut this shit. He's a friend of ours. Good, great friend of ours, and he's very adamant about the gun issue, and I think that he has some insight. I think we'll try and bring him on at some point, and we'll readdress it. But we just wanted to touch on the Allen thing because I think that it's close to home. It hit home for us because I've been there before, Trey. I've been up there at the Adidas outlet store, getting myself some gear. That's what you see.
Yeah.
You walk in and you see my Adidas pants, and I'm giving them some plugs. I mean, I'm glad because they need it from our show. They don't do well enough.
Right.
But I'm an Adidas guy, and so I go up there. Hey, we could have been up there. My
Very
mom was up there 2 weekends ago.
Very
and
easily.
It hit home to us because we're here, and I know that that's the case for whenever these things happen. People are right there, and that's the point. So we wanted to bring it up just from a local standpoint and say thoughts are out there. We hope everybody stays safe, and we're disgusted and sad about for the families that lost somebody.
And hopefully we can figure out something soon.
But you know what? We'll keep talking about it. Maybe we'll inspire somebody.
Hopefully.
Or not. Or they'll call us and be like, we just want to hear Trey stories about dating.
Right.
Which we don't have one for a while, but we'll get there.
Yeah. I've got them queued up, ready to roll. Well, let me ask you this.
Okay. All right. Let's move on.
Take a deep breath.
Take a deep breath. It's intense. The Allen shooting was intense for everybody involved, or everybody all over the country, much less people that are here.
Yeah.
So. All right.
So let me ask you this.
I don't even know what's about to happen.
Is your diet causing depression?
I'm trying to think. Hold on. Is my diet? You mean the diet I'm currently on, or any diet?
Any diet. We'll just say any diet.
Is my diet. Let's just say right now I'm doing a form of keto, and everybody can write us at stuff@stayinthegraypodcast.com, gray with an A, podcast on the end, and tell me that keto's stupid, but it's not. I've done it before and it's worked. So I'm doing it again. I don't know if it's caused me depression, but I'm intrigued to find out how it could.
So I started following a Arnold Schwarzenegger daily mailer, and basically it sends me daily emails about health facts, about workouts, just about stuff in the news as far as your health is concerned.
Okay, from where?
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
From Arnold.
And it's
okay.
So yeah, it's a interesting little, like I said, daily email that I get from Arnold. And this one jumped up today, and it was interesting. And it says,
I want a daily email from Arnold.
I'll send you the link.
Okay, cool.
It says the food linked to depression and what to do about it. It says recent research found that the more you eat ultra processed foods, the more likely you are to report feelings of depression or anxiety.
Uh-oh.
Which I got scared myself.
Yeah, both of us. I mean, I'm better now with processed foods, but I'm still not crystal clear.
Now, this is a broad category that includes foods that are engineered to make them more desirable by adding salt, sugar, and fat, which is oh so glorious.
Well, yeah, all those things sound great.
This actually makes up more than 60% of the food found in grocery stores. So it's out there. A more recent study of 11,000 people found that those who consumed more than 20% of their calories from this ultra-processed food experienced an additional 28% decline
Wow.
in cognition.
Look, 20%.
I said that right.
20% is not a lot. And you're talking about that being like the trigger point.
Correct.
Wow.
So is that a small number?
I think, well, no, that is a small number. I mean, you're talking about, they're saying only 20% of the food that you eat is processed. What is ultra processed?
20% of their calories are ultra processed.
What is ultra? Does it explain that?
So ultra processed consists of ingredients like hydrogenated oils,
Okay.
chemical additives, artificial sweeteners, emulsifiers, and preservatives.
So processed.
Yes.
Okay, but the ultra was getting me. I mean, is it some sort of crazy thing? It sounds like just processed foods. So what I mean by processed foods is like, Kraft macaroni and cheese, not to bash them. Hopefully we don't lose them as a sponsor. But
Do we have them as a sponsor already?
I was hoping because
okay.
I love their
I
love their
cheese.
product.
Yes.
But Kraft macaroni and cheese. So you know what I'm talking about, the old school Kraft, not the like one with the cream
Organic
cheese.
noodles and
Sauce.
all that crap.
Well, I'm talking about the old school where it's the powder.
The powder, yeah.
Powder cheese.
Burns your eyes if it gets in. Yeah.
To me, that seems processed.
Processed.
Right?
Yes.
And I'm sure there are other examples, but I'm thinking of that one. So if you're eating a lot of processed food, 20% is not a lot of, that's 1/5 of your 100%. And so 20%, you'd think that most people, sadly enough, I have a wife who has made me conscientious, has made me aware of, I'm going to leave that, by the way, has made me aware of processed food. She's very adamant about we need clean foods.
Right.
We talked about France. We talked about how healthy they are, even though they eat bread and cheese all day.
Right.
It's clean. It's not processed. It's not, filled with all kinds of chemicals and hormones and all that shit.
Right. So it's cleaner.
It's cleaner. And so what you're telling me now is that this unhealthy processed food diet that the Americans love could cause depression.
Signs of depression, yes, sir.
Just because it's processed.
Just the processed food, yeah. So,
And there wasn't one specific part of the process. It was just overall process.
Overall.
Okay. That's interesting.
so that is interesting. So it opens my eyes to some of the things.
I should be like in bed right now, like
Crying?
bundled up after
Yeah.
my life of processed food.
Exactly. That's what's scary.
I know.
So another one that jumped out at me, and this was how it caught me. It says, you're smoking 15 cigarettes and you don't even know it. I was like, wait a minute.
Whoa.
How the hell is that happening?
I'm intrigued.
So is somebody, looking over my shoulder, what's going on? So it says on here, we all know that smoking cigarettes is one of the worst things you can do for your health.
What?
But did you know
Is it really?
that being disconnected from others is arguably just as bad, if not worse, for your health. So what they're saying is researchers from 3 different universities studied the impact of social isolation and unhappiness on older individuals and found that loneliness ages a person faster than smoking.
Whoa. Really?
It says
Loneliness.
Loneliness. So if you don't have any kind of social life, I'm assuming, and I'm wondering
if you feel lonely.
Yeah.
So what if somebody just like wants to be lonely or like wants to be alone?
So it says prior research had already suggested that a lack of family, friendship, or community was linked to a 30% increase in the likelihood of heart disease and stroke, and a 50% increase in the likelihood of dementia.
50%.
That's a big jump.
It's a huge jump. And it's interesting to me because I always thought could loneliness really equate to that? That's intense. You know what I mean?
That's very intense.
So if you're sitting there, could it, you hear about these the mental aspects of, somebody died because his wife passed away and then, he died out of a broken heart and his his emotional and his mental state was bad.
Right.
Or, that might not be the best example, but I'm talking about how powerful the brain is.
Yeah.
How powerful the mind is. And I want to not believe that. I want to be like, all I've been told my whole life is smoking is bad. How can just somebody being isolated, like literally be worse physically?
Right.
Emotionally, sure, you could be depressed and you could, whatever. But for health, for actual health and for actual longevity of life, wow, that's interesting. I look at Arnold.
So it does say
some knowledge here.
It does say the data suggests a lack of connection and hopelessness was the equivalent of smoking 15 cigarettes per day or having 6 drinks daily. So it goes on a little bit further.
That's not a low number.
Right. It says down here a little bit further. It says isolation creates a domino effect that reduces the likelihood of performing healthy behaviors, which is a real reason for concern. According to the researchers, people who are lonely tend to get less exercise and don't sleep or eat as well. Which that kind of makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
If you don't feel like going out and doing anything.
Right. So you don't get the exercise.
You don't get the exercise. You're
not concerned about the diet.
Right.
So yeah, that's
I thought that was interesting because I've never smoked, but it says I'm smoking. Yeah. And I was like, what the hell?
You're sitting there like, wait, hold on.
Shit.
I thought I was good. I thought I had been a good.
Yeah, I thought it was something maybe.
Well, I did. I had my day. I smoked off and on, and usually it was not a high amount. It was just a few a day.
Yeah.
Back when I was performing and music.
Music, yeah.
And certain situations, like one of those social drinkers and drink smokers, and to hear that is crazy to me because it was the best day of my life. Well, besides when I got married, had my kids, one of the best days of my life.
When you met me.
Besides that, when I quit smoking, because you're going, wow. And you finally did it. I mean, people have tried and tried and tried. And, but I found, I remember when it was, and I remember why it was. And it's been years and years now. And it's great. And you feel this kind of like, wow, that could have gone a lot longer. That could have put me in jeopardy. And here I have 2 beautiful kids. And I want to be here.
Right.
And to think that is less than what you're telling me with some loneliness.
Yep.
Now, fortunately, right now, I'm not lonely.
Well, you got me.
I have you. My wife.
And your wife.
My wife, too. I mean, they're whatever. And so to me, it's very, 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 it's weird to think that somebody that is just lonely could be more at risk than somebody who is just dying to get off of nicotine and smoking.
Right.
So, wow, those are fun. Arnold. Giving us some facts.
Yeah, so I'll read through these every once in a while. There's been some good stuff that he's sent out. A couple of these caught my eye, so I was like, oh, these are interesting. So I thought I'd share the
processed food things. That's really interesting to me because no one really thinks about that. I mean, there's so many people that just, especially in the United States, they just go to the store and they buy whatever and they eat it.
Right.
And as now I've brought up my wife 16 times tonight, but she's kind of been this whole look. Just look at what you're eating. Like, look at the label. Take your time with it. If you're going to eat a piece of cheese, maybe you should try and eat a piece of cheese that's from a, I don't know, fucking goat or some shit. Or something that's just, don't eat Kraft American singles that are wrapped individually, that have all the, crazy stuff, that preservatives and all the processed stuff, and just try and use your mind, use your brain a little bit there. But anyway, that's some good stuff.
Yeah. So just some wisdom. Boom.
Wisdom.
You're
boom.
welcome.
Trey, look at Trey bringing it.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Trey. So let's talk a little bit. We have some time.
Time for what?
I would like to bitch. Would you like to bitch a little bit?
I'm not surprised.
I have made it completely clear on this show that there are many, many people that piss me off. So let's go to our self-aware, being aware
of self-awareness. Yeah.
Because I've got one. I know you're stacking up over there. You told me earlier, you're like, I've got like a list. So let's get to a few of them, and I'm going to let you go. I'm going to let you go first.
You're going to let me go first?
I'm going to let you go first.
Let me think here.
Do you want me to go first?
Well, actually, no. So Jess, our resident ER nurse.
Who? Just kidding, Jess.
Episode 11.
She was great.
She brought one up, and it does fire me up. So whenever you're driving through a busy parking lot, and you see somebody come out and they're walking to cross the street or cross, they're crossing, and you slow down. You slow down your car so they can cross. How come?
Like a crosswalk kind of situation.
Sure.
Okay.
But it's at a grocery store or a shopping mart or whatever. So they see you, they stop, and you wave them on. How come they go as slow as absolutely fucking possible? And they're always on their phone.
You know why? Because they're unaware.
They're unaware. And then I'll take that a little bit further.
Please do.
So you're driving down looking for a parking spot. And somebody gets out of their car and they start walking right down the middle of the drive.
Without any awareness.
Oblivious.
Oblivious.
They're the only person in this fucking world. And they're walking right down the middle, and you're slowly going behind them, thinking, okay, they'll hear my fucking car in a minute and move out of the way.
Just sense it.
Yeah.
Like, there's a huge car behind me.
They just sit there and just
whatever. Yeah. I'm with you.
So at what point is it not, is it illegal to kind of run them over, or is that bad?
It may be illegal. What if you nudge them?
Kind of nudge them with the bumper?
Is that
illegal?
The problem is I think they would go down and like.
Yeah, my luck is they trip as soon as I nudge them.
They're the type of person that is unaware. They're probably the type of person that'll try and sue and get some money for no reason.
That's true. So yeah.
But even a nudge, or just, you know what? Just let's bring back shouting out the window.
Yeah, a horn.
Yelling a horn. Yeah. But I'm with you. I think that. It happened. Even today, you're sitting there just driving through a parking lot, pick my son up from school, and I drive through some a shopping center area, and just people walking in the middle of it, they just don't care.
Not even paying attention. Which you'd think that would be the one place, because you've got young drivers out there that are idiots on their phones. You've got pissed off dads or moms, just trying to get home and make dinner. So that's where I would want to pay attention, where these cars are coming from, and move out of the way a little bit. So,
well, why is it so hard just to walk on the side?
Right. You would think. You would
think.
It'd be easy, but no, not for these people.
Do you want me to go?
Yeah.
I have one.
Yours.
Let's rotate. All right. You know what? People might think this is petty, but it's just not. It's just come on, people, unite with me here. Have you been driving and you're in a lane? I'm gonna say any lane, but especially if you're in the right lane, and nobody's in front of you. The light turns red, and the person that's next to you jumps in front of you so they can be first in line.
Okay.
right? So in the right lane, if I'm about to turn right and they jump in front of me so they can be first in line and they don't turn right, I'm sitting there through the duration of the entire lane.
Right.
Granted, unless my signal is on, they probably don't know. But still,
Right.
come on. But the main one I'm talking about is when they get over, let's just say it's not the right lane. They get over so they can be first.
Right.
And so I'm behind them and I'm going, I was right here, but you cut me off so you can be first.
Right.
And then when the light turns green, they like creep like a fucking turtle.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm like, so you got over so you could what? So you could
Better accelerate that.
hold me.
Get the fuck out of the way.
So you could hold me up. Like it doesn't make any sense to me. And
It should be a drag race at that point. Get your ass going.
If you're getting over, I'm assuming it's because you want to take off right when that light turns green.
Right.
You want to show your stuff.
Right.
And it just seems like that never happened.
Right.
So that's my next one.
Well, you made me think of one actually on my way over
Let's
here.
go. Let's do it.
So
On the way over here.
on my way over here. So I was in the
We're always thinking of content, ladies and gentlemen.
I was in 3 lanes. I was in the left-hand lane, and then obviously there was a turn lane coming up. And this lady flew in front of me, cut me off. So I'm thinking, okay, she's in a hurry. It's about that time of day.
See, you're too nice.
She's trying to get home, right? And I look behind me. There's nobody behind me.
Of course.
So she had to fly in front of me, cut me off to get into that turn lane when she could have just went behind me to get into turn lane.
Sure.
Anyway, so what I loved about it is as soon as the light turned green, hers didn't. So I got to go through faster than she did.
Nice.
Checked her out to make sure but she was too busy messing with her kid with the juice box, whatever. So
You checked her out to make sure what?
I was making sure I was in my passive aggressive stare.
You just got
Sorry.
really squeaky.
I apologize. My passive
Okay,
aggressive
take it easy.
stare,
I thought you were
Ryan.
checking her out for other reasons.
Because I mean, I wasn't going to do anything.
Sure.
But I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Just pay attention. You didn't have to cut me off. You could have waited, went right behind me, and got into that turn lane. But yeah, she felt the need to jump in front of me. So yeah, I thought that was frustrating. I always hate when there's plenty of room behind me, but you have to fly up and then cut me off.
Yeah.
So that never makes sense to me.
Yeah, that's kind of like the people that, and this isn't, I mean, this is just kind of a quasi one. This is kind of a mine as well, since you're talking about it. I'll mention it. If you're going down, say you're in the middle lane of a 3-lane road, okay? Say you're going down and you're cruising, and nobody's behind you.
Right.
And there's a person that's going to turn right onto the street with you.
Right.
Even if he's turning into the far right lane, why does he have to? Why can't you just wait till you pass him? He goes and he turns in that lane, and he's kind of in your lane. He's not, but and I look behind myself, and I'm like,
there's nobody there,
dude. You could have waited literally 3 more seconds and then gone with an open. You could have gone in any lane you wanted.
Everybody's
It
safe.
just doesn't make any sense. Everybody's safe. It doesn't make any sense.
People are idiots.
They really are, and I feel like you and I could just do rapid fire dumbasses
Just idiots in this world.
all night.
Thank you for the content, you idiots.
Right. And it is. And sadly, it's to the, not sadly, happily for us. Thankfully for us, it's to the point where I'll look and I'm like, we're going to talk about
We're going to discuss
that.
this one.
Yeah. Because, I want your name and address.
Yeah. Give them a thumbs up and then thank you.
Give them a thumbs
You
up.
asshole.
I haven't had any, maybe I think people heard us because I haven't had any incidents at Whole Foods.
Oh, so they gotten better.
So maybe they heard us and they're like, this guy. Wow.
Karen realized she needs to
Yeah,
stop.
they're gonna put our info out there.
Chill out and wait in line, damn it.
Do you have any other self-awareness?
Self-awareness, no, but I've got another little story for you.
I want to hear another little story. Let's go.
So I was on my way home the other day, and mistakenly I moved into an apartment complex right next to a Whataburger.
You didn't check that out before you moved in?
No, I didn't pay attention to that. But every time I pull into my little driveway, I obviously pull right by a Whataburger. So it got me the other day.
I don't want to hear this because I would do anything to get a Whataburger. Yes. Anybody that's not from like Texas or the South, I think it's the Southwest. I don't know how far it expands, but Whataburger is, in my opinion, and I think yours, probably
Wonderful.
the best fast food burger you can get.
Yeah.
Period. And the fries, everything is delicious.
Loveliness.
They do it to order, and they're open 24 hours,
Yes.
which is huge.
Frustrating.
Well, frustrating.
Well, when you're not trying to eat it, yeah, and you drive past it, and it's always open. So
Right.
that's
I
frustrating.
mean, I say it was great that it was 24 hours back in the day,
Right.
when I was out late. Now it's like, all right, it's 9:30. They're open. Well, of course they're open. So I'm going to live vicariously here because I would do anything for some Whataburger.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
So I pull up to
Go ahead.
Whataburger.
Pull up to
Super
Whataburger.
excited. I'm going to indulge and love this meal. So I order my meal. And as you know, I'm very picky. I need this without this,
And a piece of meat.
double cheeseburger,
Yeah.
meat and cheese only, no veggies. Can you add some mayonnaise, side of this, blah, blah, blah. Anyway,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. You're fun.
obviously I want to pay attention as they read my order back. But this particular person, I don't know if they were speaking.
This is the drive-through.
The drive-through, yes. Of course, I'm not getting out. I'm just going to the drive-through.
Just making sure.
Anyway, so I'm listening for my order. Make sure they get it right because I get pissed off when they
yeah.
mess up my order. So, person reading my order back, I don't know if it was another language. I don't know if they had marbles in their mouth while they were talking, but I could not understand a damn thing they were saying.
Through the like microphone
Through the
thing?
microphone,
Through
yeah.
the whole that panel, the speaker.
Right. So, I didn't know what to do.
Right.
I repeated my order again in a nice, polite way.
So they didn't get it right?
Yeah, just double check. Well, I don't know if they didn't
Oh,
get it
oh,
right
go.
because I didn't understand what the hell they were saying. So I said my
it was
order
a big
again.
a big muffled.
Yeah, I'm
kind
thinking,
of-
okay, I'll just do my order again, and just say, hey, this is what I want. I want a number 2 double cheeseburger, blah blah blah. So
like double cheeseburger.
it got they
Stop it.
Then they turned it again. Still had no clue what the hell they were saying.
So is it like a robot or like a robot?
I mean,
with
another
a mouth-
language.
It's like he had his mouth full.
Yeah, a mouthful of marbles or something.
Marbles.
So I started thinking back to our first show.
Let's take a journey back.
How good would it
Check
be
it
at
out.
this point to be able to hit a subtitle button
Ah, the subtitles.
The subtitle button.
Yes.
to understand what the hell they're saying? That way, I just hit the.
That's a
hit,
great idea.
yeah, hit the button. Boom. Okay. Yes, you did get my order right.
So we talked about the subtitle button as far as like in one-on-one conversation,
Right.
Or group conversation,
Right.
You're talking about putting it up on like a speaker
A speaker. Yeah.
for the fast food restaurants.
Yes.
I mean, why not? We have the technology to do this.
Right.
Put a camera up. Even you can even put a camera where you can see the person.
Well, I don't know if reading their lips would work out if you don't understand what the hell they're saying.
But just, I mean, that's a start. And then
Yeah.
at the bottom, you close caption it.
Boom. Subtitles.
Like a TV show.
That would work out well too.
And I mean, how much faster would it be? Whataburger, as amazing as Whataburger is, it takes some time. It takes some time
Yeah.
to get your order.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a frustrating
Okay.
situation. And
So you want subtitles at fast food restaurants?
well, and I just
All of them.
now thought of another situation. So I recently,
Oh.
yeah. So the other day,
Yep.
I went to watch YouTube
Right.
on my TV.
Okay.
And for whatever reason, it wouldn't pull up. I just thought it was user
Like
error.
Apple TV.
YouTube TV it's just on a smart TV. So it's,
They have the app there.
So it already had the app. So trying to pull it up for whatever reason wouldn't pull up, just a black screen. So I was like, forget about it. Went to my bedroom, watched it. No big deal. Next day, same thing. So I ended up calling IT. And there was actually on the deal to do a troubleshooting through my TV. I thought that was kind of cool. They'll call me up. IT person calls me. The only thing I can understand is their name is Bob.
Is it like Bob or is it like one of our lovely foreign friends?
Yeah.
But said his name was Bob.
Yeah. Don't understand a damn
Got it.
thing they're
Okay.
saying except for my name is Bob.
It wasn't like Bob from San Antonio.
Right. And they're asking me, can you do this? Can I do what? Can you click on this? Can you say that one more time? Where do I click?
Right.
So anyway, after half an hour, they finally took control of my TV and they started clicking on it for me. Pretty cool.
Right.
But how good would it be to have subtitles to understand these wonderful IT people that are trying to help
Dude,
you
I
through
agree.
these
I agree.
frustrating situations?
And we don't mean to be mean, and we're not trying to be. But look, I was on with some IT people today.
Bob?
Today, it was Dawn.
Dawn. Okay.
Dawn. It was not Dawn. If this guy's birth name was Dawn, then I
It's probably spelled with a silent L
Something.
and 3 Q's.
So
yeah.
Dawn, and is it wrong for us to sit here and be frustrated by the fact that it's hard to communicate when we want something done? Or is it, or should we be sympathetic and appreciative of these people that are working hard?
Right.
I mean, I'm a little bit of both, honestly. I mean, yeah, obviously, great work, whatever. But at the same time, I need this done. And every time I say something, I don't need it repeated.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's always like,
I hate when they repeat everything. You know, I'm needing help with accessing YouTube TV on my television.
So you need help,
sir. You need help accessing your YouTube TV on your television.
Right, that's what.
Yes. What'd you say?
Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
Sir? That's right.
Yes, it's working.
Okay.
No.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it just takes a lot longer than it should.
Yes.
Even if they understand. So, all right. So that's a good one.
That's the only one I can think of right now. But there was a couple of them that made me think, man, this would be great for the subtitles.
The subtitles. You know, that wouldn't it be great? How about this? How about if you could just if it was up to the person who wanted the subtitles. So say you walked around. I'm going to use you, not me.
Okay.
If you walked around one day and you were out just walking around outside of you drove to a client, you got out, you went to lunch, and at any moment somebody doesn't make sense to you, just click,
boom,
click,
subtitle,
click the button, subtitles. For anybody, anywhere, anyhow,
anytime.
And everybody had one. Say everybody had that, and you just the whole world is just a bunch of subtitles.
I don't like to read already, so I don't know how much fun that would be.
Well, you're not going to like it, but it's efficient.
Yeah.
And I think it would become practical if everybody was doing it, because then everybody could just be like,
yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Can you imagine this world just everybody like
mumbling? Yeah.
I know you have subtitles. I know you have your remotes. So
I will defeat your.
Yeah, I'm not even.
Yeah, technology.
And then people started being like intentionally trying to mess with the. Yeah. Well, I'm with you on the subtitles. Let me ask you one question, and then we'll stop this, because maybe nobody gives a shit but me. but let me tell you. So this is a residential street
that we're on right now.
Yeah,
or in this scenario.
In this scenario, and where we are right now.
Okay.
But I'm driving down, and these streets don't have sidewalks. It's like, an old area, beautiful homes, but old, so the streets don't have sidewalks.
Right.
Just, you know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
And so anybody that comes to do work on these homes, they park, and there's nowhere to park, so they park on the street.
Right.
On the side.
Right.
So in order to go around them, you have to go into the other side.
Right.
So would it or would it not annoy you if you had the right of way.
Okay.
If your side's open.
Right.
And if another car just assumed that they could just go, and you had to all of a sudden slow down, hit the brake, that annoys me. It's kind of like, look, your side is the one that's taken up. I get mad at the people that are taking it up, even though they're there to be productive and work. I'm like, how dare you park here? Figure somewhere else out to go. And so a car comes the other way and they just shoot over and they're in your way and you have to stop. And I kind of look at them as they pass, and sometimes there'll be some douche. He's like, hey, he waves at me and I'm like, whatever. Sometimes they don't care. They just go.
Right.
They're just oblivious. And I'm going, this is not your right of way.
Right.
Now, am I out of line here?
Not at all. Not at all.
Because some people, my wife, would tell me that I need to just relax and that it's not a big deal. But to me, it's a big deal.
It does get frustrating.
Because all I want is to people to be considerate.
Right.
I want people to understand that there are other people in this world besides them.
And also, if you weren't paying attention because it was your right of way and hadn't noticed this guy being an idiot, it could have been an accident.
Well, that's probably a better point than my point.
Yeah.
Which is, if you kept going and then all of a sudden, the accident's the worst case scenario, but what if you cut into this whole like Austin Powers thing where it's like, okay, I've got to back up and go forward and then back up and then go forward.
Right.
Because you're here and I can't get around and you're here and then it becomes this whole unnecessary.
Right.
But that's another one of mine. And that happened today and I just kind of sat there and I was like, I was like, really, and anybody, like, I think I said it in another show. I say, really?
Really? Yeah.
That's my thing. Really?
That is frustrating.
So, and now the problem is my son started picking up on all this.
Uh-oh. Your oldest, I'm assuming?
My oldest, of course. And I think I mentioned this before in a show too, but it's gotten progressively worse. And so I've gotten really good. I'm like, you poo-poo face. Like, I'm like yelling at somebody, and I even stop and go, did I just really?
Call somebody poo-poo face.
It's like, and then he's in this phase now where he asks why and what's wrong. And he just, no matter what happens, he wants to know what's going on.
Absolutely.
And I admire that, but at the same time, it's also annoying.
Yeah.
So I'll be like, in the front seat, and he goes, "What's wrong, Dada? What? Why are you angry?" So I have to like try and explain it, like we're doing here on the show.
Because this asshole
What you don't understand, son, at 3 years old, is there's a thing called a right of way on a road, and what you don't get is that this guy's an asshole.
He did not have the right of way.
Yeah. So. It's harder when he's in the car, but
that's pretty funny.
Yeah, there are plenty of dad stories when you have a 3-year-old.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah. All right. Is there anything else you want to talk about tonight? I think there's got to be something.
No.
All right.
Anticlimactic.
I mean, look, we got it all out tonight. This is what we wanted. Listeners, spread the word. Hit us up, www.stayinthegraypodcast.com. All the social media. I mean, it's just like you could really just kind of pull up a browser and we're there. We're on so many platforms.
Boom.
Facebook, Instagram,
Super
Twitter.
easy.
Super easy. Find us, share it. We love you so much, and we'll see you next time.
Later. Hey, Ryan, I just got another subscriber on my OnlyFans.
Oh, that was me.